Oh, look at all of you lovely people coming
Oh
in.
my gosh. Oh, oh,
Welcome, everybody. So exciting to have you all here. Oh my goodness.
hey, and Carrie and Rue. It's so nice seeing people. I know.
I know that's the strange thing about launching a book is that there's so much work that goes on in the background, but you don't get to spend a huge amount of time with all the people who are reading your book. And so this is a really lovely opportunity for you to meet and see Coco, all you lucky readers who are reading her book for the first time, and for Coco to see your faces and perhaps hear some of your questions and your responses because she gets to see her readers. So, welcome everybody. I am so delighted that we are getting to do this launch call together. Wherever we are in the world, we get to gather here in virtual space and time together. So, welcome. We're going to have a variety of stuff. We're going to have some readings from the book. We're going to have some conversation and reflections from Coco on the writing process and the content of the book. And then we'll finish with some opportunity to feedback if you've started reading and ask questions if you've got questions. So let's dive in. Coco,
Hi.
would you
Hi,
like to
everyone.
start with a reading?
I'm going to start with the reading.
And just in case anybody's hearing, they're like, what's this about? It's about this book, Digging for Mother's Bones.
Need my glasses. We may find ourselves trying to make up for the woman our mother was not. We may overcompensate and want to fill the gaps with who we think she needed to be. Or we may try to push back so as not to be like her rather than be the woman that we came to be. I tried so hard not to be my mother rather than the mother I actually was designed to be. I didn't give myself to space to find out what that was. Instead, I constantly searched for the nourishment I thought I'd missed. I created such a pendulum swing throughout my life. I was never settled as a mother. I carried the demons of my past close. I rejected the true self in their favour. It took up a lot of energy not to be myself. Energy that could have been utilised for good instead of feeding ghosts. I wasn't able to see myself just as a woman, and I wasn't able to see my mother that way either. This was a ripple that passed down to my oldest daughter. It strained our relationship, and she too wanted me to be somebody I was not.
Mm. I mean, can we just take 5 minutes and just cry? Because
Yeah,
mm,
yeah. I love my book so much because I didn't look for what to read. I just opened the pages and picked three. And every time it's the perfect thing that needs to be said. And I feel we needed to start with that because we have this notion around the mother womb that there's something to fix. But ultimately, what we need to do is just see our mother as woman and have compassion for the journey. Um, yeah, I had to develop that as a skill because there was so many layers to go through to acknowledge my mum in her own journey and as a full woman, not attached from me, not me looking for answers or nourishment or anything, for me to step into my fullness and just love her as she was, no matter what the circumstances. And I know it's a challenge, but it's the healing balm that we need. It's like we're going into a phase now where we really have to, yeah, grow into spiritual adults and see the full picture of it's not personal. I know it feels that way, but there is a collective and a universal story that goes with that as well. And we, yeah, to see from that highest perspective so that we can embrace and hold it all and love, just be unconditional love.
I want to like ask you a question or move it on, but I'm still in the needing to bawl my eyes out
To
stage.
breathe. Shall we just have a breath?
Yeah.
Because as you may know, I am a very deep person and I don't cut punches, as you'll read from my book. Um, yeah, because I believe we're just big enough to hold it all. We just have to remember that. So
Literally, I can't, Coco. I'm sorry.
let's have a breath and just feel our bodies on the surface and just breathe. And I just want to say a little bit about me, which you've probably read in the book if you've seen. I am a transmission, an activation. So there will be tears. I'm not going to say there may be tears, there is tears
There are
always.
tears.
Because the
It's gonna be
channel.
totally non-functional. I'm just gonna be curled
It's
up
not,
and
I've got you, Lucy. I've got you. I've got you.
I know you do, love. I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the frequency I pull through is of the direct source of the mother. At my near death, she implanted that in me, and I've been embodying it ever since. And it's a lot to come through if you think of it as the river of life. And so sometimes it comes out full force and you'll feel it. Just let her wash away the things. It doesn't have to be so hard. I did it the hard way so that I could share it. But yeah, I'll just say that. Do you want to ask me now?
I think it would be really interesting for people to hear because I think a lot of people would relate to many elements of your story. Your story is your story, and your story is unique and personal. But when people are reading it, they will, as I did, recognize many bits in your story.
Mhm.
Most of us have been traumatized in some way, simply by living here on this planet at this time. I'm not sure there ever has been a good time since patriarchy's been in charge, but you know, it's and then we get what happens at the hands of our families, and for different families that's different things. And what I'm really curious about is the point that you reached when you decided enough, something's going to shift, going to change here, and the point that you reached when you thought, and this is a book, and this is something I want to share with the world. Because I think they're probably two different parts. One's very personal, and one is more of a kind of a stepping into something much bigger. But, we all have trauma, but we don't all write books. And lots of people have trauma and write books that don't engage with people. And yours is a an
Yeah.
engagement. So I'm really curious for you to speak into that.
Mhm. Yeah. It is a whoosh
Mm.
because it was almost transcribed through me. I always say that book wrote me because I didn't set out to write a book. I set out to discover what was happening inside of me. So I wrote parts of journals and I wrote and I wrote, and they were just for me to really understand my own path and my own journey. And then days went by where I couldn't sleep and I just kept getting this nudge. You need to write, you need to send this somewhere, you need to do this, something with this. And I just kept getting that nudge from, I know the mother saying, this story needs to be told. And you're the one that's going to tell it. And I didn't want to because obviously there's lots of personal things in there and I felt overexposed. So it was like being in an alchemical fire. And then I remember being in bed one night and it got to about 10 o'clock and I just felt this ping. I need to send this to Lucy. Not really knowing Lucy, but it was like yeah, I just kept hearing this like, do it, do it, do it. So I scrambled some things together, sent it off, not even with a proper book proposal, and just said, look, I've just been woken up out of bed and I need to send this to you. I don't know what it is, but I'm sending it anyway. And yeah, I remember getting the message back from you that the same thing. I don't know what you've written, but we need to talk. And then getting on the call with you, and I think we cried
We
oh,
did. It's our history, isn't it? Just
for
bawling
the
our eyes
whole
out together.
hour. Because we knew something was coming through both of us at that time, and it was
Yeah.
like, no matter what this is, we don't know what it is, but we're going to trust the voice and we're going to do the thing. And so it was a full, yeah, activation into believing that I could be a writer and believing I could be a scribe because I'm dyslexic. And although I've done lots of like anthology things, they're short pieces and I've worked on them for a long time. This was something so different because it had to be handwritten first because it was coming through my body as an activation. And then yeah, I uploaded it and as the relationship grew with Lucy as my editor, I realized it was the perfect thing because I could just stay in my feminine channel. And Lucy is a genius, by the way. Her ability to pull what I was like channeling into form was exquisite, and we both came up with the design of the structure, but Lucy refined that more and chopped the story up into and interweaved it in the book. Um, and can I say it was a pleasant experience to write that book? Hell no, it wasn't. Because I had to relive every single emotion to be that full transcribe. But I know that it's a gift to be able to do that. It's a gift to humanity because the amount of people that have messaged me, got in touch with me, and said, "Oh my God, I've been crying in the first thing. It's like something's lifted off me, or I've seen clearer, or I'm gonna make amends with my mum." It's like it's already starting, and they're like just getting through the first pages. So I'm trusting. It's like learning to trust the unknown because I haven't got a clue. My inner human is like going, "What on earth is going on?" What are we doing? And but by higher kind of self is like going, wow, this ripple that's going out in the world is going to be huge. And I
Mm,
really feel that because it was the pure essence of the mother. So it's like, how can it not be?
mm.
Um, yeah.
And you channeled those words through, but I've got to ex describe to you, I've never told you this, I don't think, the experience of working with your words. And when you read them out, or when I go looking in that book, I swear to you that the contents of that book are not fixed. There is constantly new stuff appearing on those
Yeah.
pages that I have never seen and never heard, including what you
Mm.
read just now, because like
Yeah.
I read it, and when I work on a book, I'm editing it, I would go through the content at least 4 times. And so you would think I would come across it and be like, oh yeah, I know this and I know this. And there are bits of it which are like that. And then there are large swathes of it where I'm like, nope, never
Mhm.
read any of these words before. Absolutely, they are fresh. And that is including when it is printed. So there is no chance that those words have been put in by you or anybody
Mhm.
else, but yet they seem to be appearing on the
Yeah.
pages. I
If
love.
you think
Mm.
you feel it weird reading it, I feel it weird reading it because I'm thinking, did I write that? Was that me? Honestly, it's like that's why I said I haven't read my book, but I just open it and I know I'm going to find the right
Mm.
thing. It's like Mary Poppins handbag. That's what
Yeah,
I've
it's
decided
exactly what it's
because
like.
it's like I go in and I think, wait a minute, did I write that? Wow, I didn't even know that was like I don't even know that was in there. And it's obvious that we did the process together. And what I've realized, I really sat with it and asked, what am I experiencing with my own book? And it was like there are three like layers to that book. One is like the physical kind of words, it's like the base note of what's actually happening. The next layer is like an emotional field. Um, so we can feel like what the actual frequency of the words are, and the underlying like hum, as I call it, is frequency. And so it is ever shifting and ever changing. And I know I write, and I've said at the beginning that I am a transmission. I'm only just beginning to understand, oh, that's a signal. That's why I'm a siren, because my voice and my actual imprint of words carry the frequency of the mother. And so it's like whatever somebody needs to get, they will get. And each time you go in, you'll get something different. And it's like, what is this shape shifting thing? I don't
Mm.
know, but I know it's in a tangible form, but it's not
It's as solid as
tangible.
it can get right now,
Yeah.
but it's still not very solid.
Yeah.
I'd love to read. For me, one of my favorite bits of it are the Dear Woman bits.
Mm-hmm.
I adore them, and I like to read the first one. I'm pretty sure it's the first one that comes up because I think it'd be a lovely kind of lead into my next question. Dear woman, for millennia your story has been mistold, your multi-dimensionality hidden under falsehoods. They would have you believe that you have no real value, that your position is to be submissive, to take up less room. You have learned to contort yourself into a version of smallness and believed that to gain any real knowing, you have to fight to be seen. When in reality, you are a bridge between worlds. The true frequency of woman has a tone so crystal clear that when you allow yourself to sit in its resonance, it brings you back home to the magnificence of your being. Can you allow yourself to fully feel that in your body and bones? Can you allow yourself to remember her? She is your mother, in you as you are in her. Come, remember. So, Coco, I would love you to tell us more about your relationship with the mother, your understanding of the mother and how you met her and how she pours through you. Who is the mother?
The mother is the creator of all life. She is to me the cosmic womb, the place that we all came through. She is the essence of the fabric of creation. And so everything that is here is birthed through her. And so we are part of her. And she's been wiped out of history, out of our knowing, and everything got inverted and turned upside down. And we believe that creator was in male masculine form or masculine energy. And unfortunately, it created a lot of cognitive dissonance and backwards thinking because no male or masculine force has ever given birth to anything. Woman is creator, and we are an aspect of that. And my whole journey as mother has not been the most smoothest, as you'll know from the book. But I needed to understand every single aspect of that because the threads that we have to, one, dismantle around not having the essence of mother at the forefront, which meant it filtered down into this collective field that we've created where mother isn't honoured, physical mother isn't honoured. She's like put on the back burner and she's sacrificed as a sacrificial lamb to do all everyone's bidding because we've been taught to be martyrs, that we take everything on and that we are the ones to fix the problem. And in reality, we're not. We are here to feel. We are here to feel the things that have filtered down our ancestral lineage. And we are here to ask for support from our ancestors and from Mother, the person that created the whole program, to assist us in unraveling that. And then she's doing that in full force. the sound of the mother is dismantling everything because, well, it's just needed, isn't it? We're living like in, yeah, in an existence that isn't really fit for human consumption. And we've forgotten what it is to be human. We are not meant to be in scarcity. We are not meant to be in fear. We are not meant to be feeling like we have to surrender ourselves. We are supposed to be sovereign beings. And I only understood the depth of fear that is still in the collective field last night because I was thinking, what am I going to talk about? And then I did a ritual and I had to go to nature to get rid of the things. And by the time I looked, it was 10 to 10 and it was getting dark. And this wave of fear came over me of, oh, you can't go out on your own in the woods. You're a woman. And then it was like I went, oh, where did that come from? Because I'm never scared to go in the woods. And then I picked my headphones up and it was like, don't put your headphones in case someone creeps up behind. I thought, what is going on? And it was just relentless. Everything I did, it was like this voice was going, and I went, right, that needs to leave now because I know safety is an inside job. And I know that if I'm feeling that, it's ripe in the collective to clear. And I really understood this thing of why the dynamics are still in place because there's this invisible internalized thing, which I spoke about, this internalized misogyny that we're carrying, which we don't realize. And for me, Mother is saying it's time to rewrite that now. We've learned all we can in that direction. It's now to take the pendulum swing so that we bring it into balance. And so we have, yeah, the equality of masculine, feminine, essence and unity. And that's why it's coming with such a force because we've been out of alignment for so long. And I know people are feeling more sensitive, but that is the whole reason because we're meant to feel it so that we can feel it and move it as alchemists, as women who have got wombs that do alchemy. And but we kind of get stuck in thinking it's ours and we have to analyze it and try and fix it. I could have gone into that yesterday and I was just like, no, I am no longer holding that as a belief because I know where we're going and I know that it is towards love. And yeah, I just thought I'm not going to scare myself like that anymore. Because what it creates then is a dynamic where women feel weak and not in their power, and men feel like they're predators because we've got this like dynamic going on. And I just thought, no, from this point on, now that I've felt it, the only thing to do is to emanate love and dispel the fear because it's only fear that is keeping all this in place because we've forgotten our radiance. We are meant to shine and we are meant to feel safe. That's our job as women, to radiate beauty like flowers. That's what we are. There's no coincidence that our labia looks like flowers because we're meant to shine. Be all, instead of frightened and, confused about what our power is and not looked after and not feel nourished. And it's like, I am so done with these programs. I believe that we can have what we desire. It's taken me a long time to get to that belief because I thought I was so unlovable. I tried to take my own life. That's why I did have a kid, And to be caught in the arms of mother and say, girl, you are so, what are you talking about? You are so loved. Let me tell you, let me show you what love is. And yeah, I felt her scoop me up like a baby and hold me and like just touch me on my forehead. And it was like she sent the whole universe of love through my body. And from that point, I was kind of half mad and half because it was like, where have you been? Kind of thing. It's like she's been here all along. It was me that was blocking her out. And then it was like, okay, so if I'm here, I cannot live in sufferance anymore. I can't do it. I'd rather leave. And I just commanded her that send me the help now. I need it now, not tomorrow, not anytime. And I want to just say that we are working in co-creation with life, and we are allowed to get our needs met, and we are allowed to ask, and we are allowed to, it's all there. Her nourishment, her energetics that want to feed into us are there. But like I said, I'd blocked it out because I'd forgotten how to receive as a woman because I was an overgiver. And we are here to receive. And so that again has been a journey. And yeah, I believe collectively it's the next stage of really surrendering into the body so that we can fully receive not just the things that we need to sustain ourselves, because we're not meant to be this bone tired. And so that we can feel where we're going, you know, and become the vessels that transmit this sound wave, this frequency, so that everyone can come on board. Well, everyone is coming on board, but I'd rather do it a lot quicker than we are doing. Not that I want to rush the process or anything, but it's like, yeah, we're at crunch point, and the way I'm feeling the field at the minute is like I'm on a seesaw, and I'm having to like, yeah, stay balanced, stay focused, stay, because it's so easy to get pulled off track. And so yeah, my daily practice has upped a lot to stay actually conscious and in my body, because I can just feel this wave of energy coming through that's going to do another sweep of the field, a bit like COVID did. You know, there's something, I can feel it coming, and which is why I've been talking a lot about we need to learn how to hold our center in the storm, because everything that's being distorted is being pushed out by this love and light that's coming. Well, is here. And so it feels uncomfortable because we've been so used to living that way, and it's become the norm, but it's not the norm. Um, and yeah, I have excitement about it, but I also have a vigilance about it, because the forces that have held this in place as well obviously don't want things to change because they like power. But I am here to remind what real power is, and it ain't what we've got at all.
Thank you. Would you like to read another piece?
Yeah. Let's take a breath.
Exactly, right?
Take a pause. What time? Okay.
It's all right. Relax about time. I've got time.
Yeah, because there's one at the end that I really want to read. So I'm just thinking if we've got time. Yeah,
We've got time.
got time. We have to remember that we will not always feel robust in a world so full of toxic distortions. We are moving out of the masculine bravado that tells us to present ourselves as something we are not, and it sets us up for failure. We are here to show the truth of who we are. Walking the feminine path asks us to be humble in the face of life. It asks us to hold the vision of where we are going while simultaneously not fooling ourselves that we are there yet. To be right now in the present moment at the size that we are, and to ask for assistance in our growing. There is a level of responsibility that comes with that, to be aware in the moment of what resources we need so we can grow into the vision, both collectively and individually. Part of that process entails coming into right relationship with your internal structure, or masculine. We as women can have a harsh internal voice, so wrapped up in distorted masculinity inside of us that gets programmed with internalized misogyny and the demonization of our own feminine. It keeps us stuck in old stories of ourselves and afraid to own and stand in our power, Just like much of the external world, we can easily miss it because we are not aware of the ways we have internalized such a harsh voice, or that it is playing a role in our action because it is running in the background. This voice can hinder our ability to connect to our deeper feminine wisdom and to the mother. And I think that just recaps everything I just said. Yeah.
Cue another 5 minutes of sobbing here from Lucy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I keep having to say it and breathe.
And breathe.
I don't know if I'm saying that to myself or to anybody else, but I just feel,
Anyone
wow, I can really feel like the pulsing of my words in my own being. So I'm not sure what it's doing to everybody else, but I know what it's doing to me. And yeah, it just feels really good that it feels real now. Like, this is my life. When I was writing that book, I had no clue what I was writing at all. As my story bits, but the other bits, I just like, yeah, I would be in bed and again would get this nudge, get up, right. And the amount of times I didn't want to, because it's the middle of the night. I'm tired. But it was like, no, you have to get up now. You have to get up now. And yeah, felt like a petulant teenager at first. I was like, hell no, you picked the wrong woman for a start. And then it was like, I got curious because it was like relentless. It just wouldn't leave me alone. So it was like, all right then, kind of like, yeah, I'm a bit of a stubborn prophet kind of thing. It's like, I don't want to do it. But yeah, but the more it came through me, it was like just wave after wave after wave of stuff. And yeah, it took some editing down. And the way that I edited it down is that I just let the raw truth and the pain come through the pages, through my writing, my own personal story, but feeling the collective trauma as well. And I just let it rip because I knew it needed to just move through me. And then I went through another layer of like clearing the emotional debris out of it. And then I'd send it to Lucy then, and then she sent it back with edit, and then I'd ground it into a tangible thing. Because I just knew, as I can feel now when I'm reading it, that this was more than a book. And it was more than just being a writer. I was healing my own ancestral wounding in the process. So I was living it as I was doing it. But also, yeah, it was clearing my own trauma. So it was like a healing thing. And people don't know, but I have had ME for like over 15 years. And I can remember about 5 years ago when this like pulse started coming, and a friend said, you know, you're not going to get better until you do your work. It's like you're holding everything backward. And so, yeah, as I started writing, the ME started lifting, the stuckness of the energy started lifting. And so, again, I knew it was more than just writing my story. It was like a healing balm to do that. And I think stories have a really powerful place, especially now where we can share. And because, like you said, each activation of speaking it awakens something in the person, the exact thing that they need to be awakened. And yeah, I forgot what you asked me.
I'd love to open up the floor if that's okay with you.
Yeah, let's do
Because
that.
I don't know, there's no pressure. If nobody has questions, that's fine. But I don't want you to be here with a question on your heart that you want to ask Coco, or a reflection that you'd like to share from either the beginning of reading the book. I'm sure probably nobody's finished it yet, but I'm sure a lot of people have started it. Or just a reflection on what has come through Coco this evening. So, Rainbow Goddess, please unmute yourself if you can. There we go. Brilliant.
Hello.
Hi, Rainbow.
Hi. I just wanted to tell you that I'm in my kitchen and I'm making alchemy. I'm doing alchemy in the kitchen. I'm making some beautiful wellness products with mother mushroom, mother cacao, and mother rose. And it's called Mother's Love Elixir. And I'm in my kitchen ceremonially making it, singing over it. And then here you are now, bringing the mother, as you're speaking of the mother, it's being infused. These new chords that you're speaking are being literally infused into this. Look at it, cacao and rose elixir. And on the instructions for the ritual use, it say a prayer to the mothers and ask them. So I just feel so in alignment with you. Like I haven't had this profound voice of the mother in me, but she's come to me in the body of water, the mother, and I just feel like you, like she needs to come back. That's my whole argument around matricentric feminism. And I've been in a university a lot. I'm doing a PhD. For those of you who don't know, I'm doing a PhD and I'm going to map the spiritual dimensions of motherhood and call out culture that's culturally abandoning mothers. And I've just done this like innovation workshop and been at Liverpool John Moores University. And I also spoke at the International Association for Maternal Scholarship and Action, the IAMAS conference last week. And even the people were saying like universities are asking for mother studies to be put on the curriculum. It needs to be in psychology, it needs to be in midwifery, it needs to be in cultural and social studies. Mother studies is so important. And so it's rising. Like you're doing it through a book, I'm doing it through mushrooms and alchemy and shamanism. And the universities are doing it through saying, no, we need mother studies on the curriculum. It's so important. And then you've also got activists out there. I'm going to work with midwives, GP surgeries to change the way they interview pregnant women and women who go back when they've got postnatal depressive symptoms, which doesn't exist. It's just cultural neglect. It's the only reason mothers have a hard time, because they're abandoned in their mothering. So I just wanted to pop on and say, all these layers of magic are happening. It's coming, and we're all a part of it. And I love it. Just love it. Standing in mothering solidarity with you, with the Great Mother, with Mother Earth, with all of the mothers, and even the women who haven't birthed children. We've all got it in us, this code. With this code, like you say, to be strong and fierce, but really loving. Because when the good mum comes home, everyone goes, oh, she's back, quick, sort everything out. So it's like that. I think the good mother's coming back and everyone's going, shit, we need to sort everything out.
Yeah, we need to sort it out. She's coming, and that's it. We need to get things in order.
Quick. It's like that, isn't it? But I can't wait to see what she does with these clowns like Donald Trump, Elon Musk. Like, I'm praying for the mother to visit them in their dreams and poke at the virtue of these men. They need mothering, so I'm praying for them, praying that they can feel this connection with this mother and that they can get the mother code, because
I need to say something about that, because we need to stop condemning the men. To move forward, we need to stop condemning the men, no matter what they've done. I had to do that in my own forgiveness of my father, all the things that I'd done, because I realised that until I let that go, I was still tethered to it and still creating a dynamic. And so, there's heinous things that have gone on. There's heinous things that have gone on in my own life. But I see the bigger picture of they are so wounded and they are so conditioned to think that they are all being and all powerful. And I know the power of woman can transform that. I know the power of woman can transform that. And so there's this balancing act, because it's like, if we vilify the masculine, then we're just doing what they did. And then it's going to snowball into something that we don't want to go. Mothers is about full acceptance and about full appreciation for the whole story, because I believe in past lives, and I believe that this is just years and eons of collective trauma and collective karma that is being sifted out now. And I know people don't like the picture of what we're seeing, but I embrace people like Donald Trump, because it's knocking the fucking wind out of us. Do you know what I mean? So that we can feel the thing and just be committed to the process that these are being revealed to us, not to harm us, but so that we can remember that we have got the power and capacity to infuse love into those situations and shift perspective, like a bit like Rainbow was saying. It's like, it's not just the mother that's going to infuse them and like unravel the ego. It's us as well. We are part of her, and she needs us anchored here as like the lighthouses on the planet near now. When I was in the woods last night, oh my God, it was like I was seeing trees for the first time. And like they were like embracing me, like saying, you do know you're a tree, right? You do know you're a mighty oak, right? And so I had to walk, one invited me to walk around the perimeter of it. And I was like 75 steps. And it was just that moment when I realized, Jesus, when I look at trees before, I just like looked at the trunk, and then it's like I didn't notice the fullness of the canopy. And so I was walking around and I went, that's what it feels like to be that full presence, that full roundedness. It's like we're solid inside. We're solid, but right now there's a lot of like watery energy on the planet, and we need all the elements, especially the grounding, which is why the Earth's frequency is changing as well to anchor us in. And in the book, there's lots of like mini exercises about being present, and because it's so essential, and also the looking at the aspects of ourselves that are dying, because we are learning to mother ourselves, and we've outsourced that for a long time. And it's like, this is what the act of sovereignty and surrender is about, that we are learning to mother ourselves so that we can each take ourselves through this process. And last night I really got the nudge that we can't do this in isolation. I needed a hand on my back yesterday as I was like purging these things. I was like, where's the hand on my back? And then it's like, for a moment, I was like, oh, I'm sick of doing this on my own. And then I just felt the ancestors like, girl, you ain't on your own. You always forget you are not on your own. But I was like, I need physical touch. And it was like, it's coming, because we are clearing a collective story. It's not just an individual story. And so I really feel this potency of us coming together and collaborating and witnessing each other as we unravel. And clear the way. Yeah.
Thank you, Coco, and thank you, Rainbow. Your energy is wow.
Yeah. Rainbow
we need
is
more
one
of
of
that in the world.
She's one of the endorsers of my book.
I know.
I love her fiery
remember
mother.
that. I saw her endorsement earlier, and I was gonna start with a couple of endorsements. We don't have time for everything. Rainbow says, this work is a timely, precious, and necessary attunement to the archetype of mother, who is suppressed by patriarchy, religious dogma, and pathology. Coco's voice beckons the reader deeper into the feminine intelligences of emotion and intuition, supporting them gracefully with practices to reclaim and balance the fullness of their humanity. This is not just a book. It's a sacred journey of reclamation. Blessed be. Fabulous words. I would love to move on to Patricia now, who's raised her hand. Hi, Patricia.
Hello. Oh, Lucy, thank you for putting this on. Coco, I love you. I have to, this just comes at such an amazing time. New moon just passed, and I felt like I was missing something. And this morning I went to my journal and I wrote about this not being the dying part of my life, which we tend to think that as an elder, we start to go downhill. It's quite the opposite. It's this vibrancy that's coming, this growing. It's like it's like I've never been happier than I am now. And I know that just expands. I was not aware of your book until a few days ago. Got an email, and the title of it really caught me. And you're inspiring me right now. I have some channelings that I've written over 4 years and didn't realize that it looks like a trilogy. I've never published a book, never written a book. Actually, I've been writing books. I've been writing in blank books for a long time. I've been journaling for 4 decades. So your inspiration for me, and not knowing, not consciously knowing what we're doing, but allowing ourselves to be guided and to be led into what we are doing, and birthing that feminine and allowing the healing to come from that. So thank you for your inspiration. Thank you for this morning. I am going to get your book because I want more. Ah, wow.
Thank you so much, Patricia.
Thank you. And yeah, I'm going to be, after the summer, after I've had a rest, doing some creative things around bringing through the voice of our muse, so that, yeah, we each can give a message. And so, yeah, I'm excited about that.
Well, we will be sharing that in the Womancraft newsletter. For those of you who aren't signed up and want to make sure that you keep track of Coco, you can keep track of her via us, or of course via her own newsletter. But yeah. And I just want to say a thing, Patricia, that each of us who writes a book have never written a book before. So we all have to start somewhere. Shakespeare had to start somewhere. Like, we all have to write our first book at some point. And that every book that you write always feels like a first book, in that you've never written that book before. You don't know what that book's journey is, where it's going to take you, the adventures it's going to take you on, what it's going to require of you. So it's always terrifying. It's always exciting, but it is always a new process. So there is no such thing, you can have written 20 books in your lifetime and still be a beginner.
Yeah. I loved what you said there about you've got no idea where it's going to take, because I don't. And sometimes I think, would I have started if I knew this? Well, this bit's nice, but the whole bit of, right, oh my God, the trauma, reliving all that, would I have done it? If I'd have just listened to my human self, no. I'd have still been like shoving things in journals and put them in a box somewhere. But the soul part of me knew that this had to come out. And so, yeah, there was lots of fear around that. And I kept taking bits out. And then one day, a really close friend has a YouTube channel, and she kind of does prophetic messages. And she started saying this message, but then she just switched track. She went, oh my God, someone's come in, and it's for someone who's writing a book, and it's about someone whose mother got unalived, and da 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 da, this, that, and and I was just sat there, my mouth open, because it was like that morning I took all that out of the book. And then it was like Spirit were going, girl, get that in the book. Now it's like that story needs to be told. And so I had to put it all back in the book and like go through this alchemical process of the fear of, oh my God, what are people going to think, and all that jazz, and just burn it away, and just know that by the time it came through me, that it was going to be clean, so that people could just feel the truth for themselves. It's not my personal thing, although it's my personal thing.
You said something really key there, and it was, do not listen to the human voice. Like, we have to set that aside, because there's another voice that's just so incredible, and trust that voice. So thank you.
Yeah.
And Jo Royal is here and listening in too, and she's just working on her book for Womancraft, which will be out next year. And I think she's just in that process of, how much of me do I put into the book, and how much do I dare to share, and how much is too much, and how vulnerable do I dare be? And it's a real journey. And so I ask you, Coco, now you're here and you have the book in your hands, and you have people around the world who have heard about it or are reading it. How does it feel to be here at this point now?
Does my action tell you? I am so giddy. Oh my God. All I keep saying to myself is, I did a thing. When I sent you the final thing, I never wanted to look at that book again. I am so grateful that, you got with the American distribute, and we had to wait another whole year and a bit, because I would have thrown that in the bin. I was so tired by the time I'd finished. I couldn't see another word. And I feel like I've integrated over this year. And now I'm like, oh my God, do I really actually believe what I just did as a dyslexic? Like, the struggle, that is a struggle as well. Oh my God. but what I've created and the effect it's having, and I know I need to rest for the next, 6 to 8 weeks, because the visions that I'm having now about what that book's going to turn into, I'm like, wait a minute, is this my life? Is this my life right now? It feels really surreal, because obviously when you read the story in the book, I didn't want to be here. And now it's like I am actually living the version of me I always knew I could be. And I've just begun. I feel like a fledgling bird just been kicked out of the nest. Mother's like, now go, child, go. The fun is like, this bit is like, you can rest now. I think that's the biggest thing. I hadn't realised how activated my nervous system had been through the trauma. And also being such a sensitive being, feeling the collective field. It's like, I haven't realised I've been on edge for like, oh my. And it's like, you need to rest now. You've done it, you pushed through and you did it. And like a mother that births a baby, you need to just have time to readjust. And then it's like, yeah, my voice started changing then, because it's like she wants to come through all the time. It's like, and then, and now, let's go do this thing. And so I am excited, but I feel that the rest will allow me to build capacity to hold the next iteration of what's to come. And you also sent me that message yesterday when I can't remember what I said yesterday, but I was in a giddy mood or something. And then you sent back, and this is only the beginning. And that's how I feel like this is just a seed right now. And I've grown. It's like I've grown to a ceiling, and then I'm going in the next room as a beginner and starting a process of, I don't know, because if she's entrusted me with this, it's like there's part of me that's excited, like, what's she going to like entrust me with next, kind of thing. How big can I get?
And I just want to underline that piece about rest, because that is one of the most rebellious things that we can do whilst as women in the patriarchy, is to rest. That's one of the most rebellious things any creative person can do, because the creative soul is going more, 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 more. And if you have some lovely neurodivergence in the mix, a bit of ADHD in the mix, it's like, do the next thing faster. And then patriarchy's like, you're not good enough. You've got to do more. You've got to be bigger. And the best and most wonderful gift you can give yourself is to rest and trust that there will be a tomorrow, and that you can do the things that you dream of tomorrow, but now it's time to rest. And I just think that is so important, because we don't get given that permission. We don't get given that message anywhere in the mainstream. Yeah. Especially as women, especially as mothers. So I think I just want to underline that. Yeah. And now
it's a holy order. That's what I've been told. You must rest. Do you know what I mean? Because like you said, I would keep going and going and going, because that's how we've been conditioned. But yeah, it's a holy order to rest.
And I see that it's not just that we do that for ourselves. When we rest and people see us resting, rather than being shamed by other people, some people might feel a little uncomfortable about it. What it actually does is give more people permission to rest, because they see you resting and they think, oh, I'm exhausted. Why isn't she doing more? Oh, I could rest too. I'm tired. I want to rest. And, that is just such a valuable thing. As an autistic woman, I always kept trying to push myself through and live to other people's rules, live to what other people could do. Now I do a lot of life in bed, because that's what I need in my body to do. And I've got a daughter who's learned to do that as a teenager. She knows she goes to bed when she needs to rest, when she needs downtime and quiet. Like, that is probably the biggest gift I have given to my whole family. Even the neurotypicals will go to bed and rest. They will lie on their beds and do nothing when they are tired. And I feel I have done my work.
The last few days I've been like pushing through, because I've done lots of interviews and things. I've conducted my life bed and the bath. So I was like, I can't get dressed. I'm like, I just have to do this meeting in the bath. I just have to apologize and go, I'm really sorry, but I'm still in the bath and I'm not getting out. My body will not get out. So here we go. Yeah. And allow it, like you said, it's an allowance, it's permission then, because it's like, oh, shit still gets done
Yeah.
when we rest.
Books get written,
Everything
podcasts
gets
get done, meetings
Yeah.
get done too, appointments get done, but we rest as well.
Yeah.
Coco, we have a few more minutes and I would love you to read your final piece because I know that that was really important to you.
Yeah. I always do that and I think, I can't see. Make me glasses. We are switching over circuitry within the body, igniting new ways of living. We are awakening the senses to be more receptive states. We are learning surrender and how to be enveloped by the darkness of the womb. Our old ways of living brought us to this choice point. It was inevitable that what we see now would occur. This is a metaphoric remembrance, held deep in the marrow of your bones, here to remind us we are made from stardust, light, dark, and dirt, and we are awakening a collective memory etched in ourselves. I can feel it coming through because the final bit that I want to read is like, woof, be ready. Dear woman, we are in a collective soul retrieval. Revival of the true feminine soul essence, the loss of which caused you to close down and caused humanity to close its compassionate heart. This is our revival, the revival of the sacred codes of woman, a remembrance that as woman, when we are connected to womb, to pussy, to heart, we are invincible. The body of woman is needed. We are the gateways to other realms. Through the portal of our wombs, we begin to be a living technology. Together, we are resurrecting the lost codes of the feminine. They are streaming onto and up through the planet. Know that there are many ways to express the feminine as there are people. Not everyone is going to like the message you bring, but enough will. In order to bring about the movement of change, our fear, your fear, change, own your fear, and lean into the trust and faith. And together we will resurrect the true essence of the mother, because together we are digging for mother's bones.
And she really, really wanted that to be read because that's the piece I had bookmarked too.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you want me to read the last, like go to the back of the book. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, she had that double underlined and insistently done. Coco, thank you. Thank you for your book. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your courage. Thank you everyone for being here. Digging for Mother's Bones is available signed from Womancraft Publishing and available from Amazon, your local bookshop if you want to order it in there. It's available on Kindle. It's available on whatever e-reader you use. So there is no excuse. You can get your hands on it. It is everywhere now.
I just want to say my niece is here, but she's more like a sister to me. And yeah, I just love that, yeah, she's here with me.
And if you want more of Coco's writing, yes, you do. She is in the Weaving Our Way Beyond Patriarchy, which was our very first Womancraft compendium. And then she has two great big pieces in our next compendium, which is out in November, called Gather, a celebration of women's circles. So that's very exciting. So you can get more of her writing there. You can find her on social media at Creatively Coco. Be sure to go and follow her on Instagram, sign up to her newsletter, generally get more Coco in your life because you will get these injections of woomph, which just will bring your life to greater and greater things. And then finally, just The Beat of Your Own Drum is our new Womancraft book, which is on pre-order today by Sophie Messenger. And that is all about the science and spirituality of drumming, especially for women, and especially for those of us who are neurodivergent too. So highly recommend you go and pre-order that on womancraftpublishing.com, just like the dozens and dozens and dozens of people who've done this morning already. So that's enough for us. We've stuck to time. Go us.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it. And I have looked through your comments, just haven't had a chance to say, but thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.